now on Facebook or whatever. So Facebook and YouTube. So we'd have one. For, first hour, we had Tom Cakerton from Hawkeye Report, and we talked to Bobby Hansen, former Chicago Bull. He played for the Jazz. He played for the Sacramento Kings, but he was on the '92 championship team that won it. As a matter of fact, he started, as we talked to him, he started the run that had them come back from 15 points down in that Game 6 against Portland Trailblazers. Obviously a member of the Iowa Final Four team in 1980. He was an Iowa basketball player, 1983 MVP for the season. So now Bobby calls games with Dolphin for Iowa basketball games. So, and that was last hour. We talked about the Last Dance, kind of just caught up from there, and welcome back into the studio is Bomber.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Bomber.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Hi, Bomb Diggy.
You know, just living my best life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
There was a weekend?
Yeah, I get, yeah.
Every day's a weekend, right?
Or every day's a Monday.
Did you go out and like starting riots or anything?
Riot?
Not yet. I mean, I'm getting close. I'm reaching my breaking point.
I'm with you, kid.
I went grocery shopping.
How was that?
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
No, I live by the library in Moline. So like right down the hill I'm in between Hy-Vee and Walmart. So I go to Walmart because it's cheaper. You know, It's where most people go because of the cost. But there's a lot more to look at. I tell you what.
What do you mean?
Okay, first of all, I had to get snippy with a guy because he was he was all up on my grill like this close, and it wasn't even because of the coronavirus that I was like back up. Just personal space.
Trying to see what you were
Was he
buying.
trying to talk to you?
No. Older gentleman, just not
standing next to you,
just too close.
Yeah,
and it's not even the coronavirus. It's like here's the pin pad with your debit, and he's literally closer than you are.
Yeah.
I'm like back.
That's too close anytime.
Back.
Right.
Back. And he just kept making eye contact with me. It was just weird. I just felt uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. I just thought you recognized me. I thought you were gonna say hi.
So no
Older
more Walmart.
gentleman.
I'm gonna go to Hy-Vee. I'll pay the extra for the personal space.
Do
Did
you
he have a Darth Vader mask on going?
do you
You don't
might
have a
as
Target
well
shopper.
have.
You gotta get that Target Red card, kid.
the people that wear I don't wear a mask.
I don't either.
The people that do you feel like they're judging you for not wearing one, or is
Yes.
it only because you can't see their faces
They
actually?
are 110% judging you. There's no question about it.
I think they are, and
I can see their eyes, Jay. Or
I
sorry, the ones that aren't wearing goggles or ski masks or anything else. I can see their eyes.
I didn't.
'Cause there are people that don't that have sunglasses on or that have
Trying to-
goggles on or some sorts.
I
trying to
kinda hope
chalk it
they
up that I can't
are.
read their nonverbal.
No.
Man.
Or
Come
how about
on.
the people that work behind the counters and they're wearing masks and they talk to you and you can't understand a word they're saying?
Or the fact that they're behind a counter or anything else, and then they take their mask down to talk to you and put it back on. Right?
Or they eat from the deli with their gloves on.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Here's one for you, Jay. The world is now essentially Vegas. Everybody's pretty much losing money. It's acceptable to drink at all hours, and nobody has any idea what day it is.
I heard that one this weekend.
That's a
Such is
bingo.
life.
Yep.
Such is life, guys.
Winner, chicken dinner.
What are you drinking there, young lady?
I brought some for everybody.
Did you?
Oh,
This is.
I couldn't possibly. Okay.
Well, I like
Can I
it.
finish my coffee?
So I do have to say that I went and I got the Corona seltzers.
Yep.
Not a fan.
Okay.
Not a
I
fan.
like them.
Do you like them?
Yeah.
They're a little bit less flavorful than the Bud Light seltzers.
I think they're all pretty similar.
They taste like
it's-
TV static, kind of.
Okay.
But I got
Don't
these.
let Corral hear you.
She knows I love her. So this is a tropical mix pack of Truly. This is delicious. They're delicious.
I showed her one Snapchat of
It's really beautiful.
me mixing something with the PBR hard coffee, and just because it's a rival product, she just goes, bleh.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
No, nobody's watching it right now. You could try one.
I don't
Trust
blame her.
me, trust me, Coral.
No, she's very brand loyal, which
Nothing.
I understand.
Yes, nothing wrong
I'm
with
all
loyalty.
about her loyalty. Her company's the only one that gives a crap about what's going on.
They do. They're doing their due diligence. They're trying to stay on top of things as far as helping
certainly
out
are.
the bars that they can. I'm not saying IBEV won't, but
Who?
right now it's.
I didn't know there was another beer company out
Do you
there in
want
this town.
what flavor do you want? Do you want watermelon,
What's your flavor?
pineapple,
name,
passion
little
fruit,
girl?
watermelon.
watermelon?
Please.
Let me just get up and serve y'all since I'm the only female in the
I'll
room.
do it.
Thank you.
Oh, you just sit
Appreciate
your
it.
little.
Bomber.
Yes.
Did you watch The Last Dance?
I did.
Wow.
She's a hell of a dancer, by
I
the way.
did.
You
All
want
of
some
it?
watermelon, Jay? You want a watermelon?
Most of it. I fell asleep and I
Sergey?
have kids. So
I'll have something. Sure.
I did miss here and there, but
How about the pineapple? You want to try the pineapple?
Sure.
So
That's
I'm
my-
gonna
Passion fruit's my
we'll sit
favorite.
right
So
over here.
my daughter, who I believe is getting and I have to say,
Oh, this is funny.
Nick mentioned it. She's getting the Mamba mentality for
is
some
fun.
reason.
The Mamba mentality?
Well, yeah, this is what she said yesterday, and I just wanted to pull over. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't get in an accident, and just because I just wanted to hug her so hard while we were driving.
Aw.
What we were doing is we were going to a softball player of hers. It was her birthday, so we were doing the car
parade.
parade thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I got one of those today.
And so she, just out of nowhere, it wasn't anything like, it wasn't brought up. We weren't talking about like what's going on. She just finally just said, "This sucks. We should be making little girls cry on the softball diamond right now." Which I was like, I'm so proud of you because we should be. We
You still can tell them you're having a birthday parade and don't show up.
Yeah, we could have a softball diamond.
Leave it to
But
Serge.
then I grab her and it's 8, but I'm like, hey, this documentary is one of the greatest competitors of all time.
Or the
You need to we need to watch this with your dad. You know what she says?
with your papa.
Hard pass.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
I go, Soph, seriously, you're gonna see about desire and drive and what you have to do to win. Hard pass. I don't like basketball. I don't care about Michael Jordan. I'm not gonna watch it. And I said, I'm not gonna make you do it. So
Stubborn little freak.
yeah, go
Wonder where
downstairs.
she
Already
gets
said
that.
I don't know. Her mother.
Yeah, I mean, my 4-year-old watch.
You know, Jay, you know that if she did watch it, she would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is pretty cool. She doesn't have to like basketball to like
And I
this.
don't
It
think
doesn't have unicorns
I
right
don't-
now. We're not watching it.
I don't think the any type of language really is that bad compared to what stuff's on there. Like I
I heard he
said,
dropped an F-bomb, though.
he did, and that's the thing, Serge. You weren't in here. What is the point of that post when people are like, "Oh, I didn't know you could say that"? They clearly said at the beginning, mature language.
Yeah.
Like if you don't, and it was also reported that if you wanted a censored version to watch with your kids, ESPN2 had a censored version.
Okay.
To me, it's like someone I think on Twitter was like, "Thanks ESPN, my kid just heard the first F word." I'm like, "Yeah, no, he didn't.
Probably
He's heard
not.
it before." Yeah,
Probably not.
Okay. Now you say,
it
what's
depends.
the point of their post? Jay, they got nothing else to post. They had nothing else exciting in their life, apparently, to go on just to say that.
If you
people,
have,
just in case-
some people just want to bitch to bitch.
if you
Okay.
have a headache, and I have 10 aspirin,
Uh-huh.
9 of them are going to cure your answer, and 1 could kill you. Would you take that aspirin?
Yep.
Depends how bad the effing headache is. That was his
I
response.
didn't even need that.
It made me laugh. There was just so many times just to hear him like laugh about things. That, I was rolling, and you're gonna love it. So, Bomber, what did you think of it?
I thought it was awesome. I mean, it didn't really tell me anything that I didn't already know or haven't already like.
Yeah,
discussed.
I didn't know Scottie Pippen had 2 family members in a wheelchair, and I didn't know he was the equipment
Well,
manager.
I'm not talking
either.
about outside stuff. I'm talking about where they went to school and how they got there and things like that. But I do have to tell you that Scottie Pippen's number was 33, correct? Mm-hmm. My softball number was 33 because my grandpa was a Mason and his Mason number was 33. And Scottie Pippen was my favorite basketball player from the Bulls because everybody liked Jordan, so I had to be different. So 33. And I got to tell you something else too. My grandpa used to say that Scottie Pippen looks like he chases parked cars.
Yeah,
With
I get that. Yeah, face flat.
Oh, isn't that a dad joke though? Chasing parked car. Get it?
Yeah, he's chasing a parked
No,
car. Yeah.
you don't like it? Not so much.
I do.
Okay. I thought it was cute.
I was number 33 in basketball.
Were you?
Yes, I was.
See?
I love
Kismet. Meant to be.
I had my own little system of numbers. I was number 18 for a lot of things, but 33 for basketball. And yes, I was a big Pippen fan. I liked being.
Yes, I loved him.
I was not the star of any basketball team ever.
No, I was
but
I was horrible.
But I was a hustler. Rodman was one of my favorite Bulls, hence the jersey that you can't see online.
Facebook's up running.
I just like his tattoos.
Camera doesn't work.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh yeah, I'll get it.
Hey, you know what?
I'll get it.
I'll sit in the back.
I'm
I'm good.
It's all broken.
I can't find us online, guys.
It's on there now.
Yeah,
There's a new feed.
Yeah,
It's up and running.
There we go.
go ahead and take a look for it now. So the Wonderlic scores were reported for the draft, 2020 draft. Do you know who got the highest score?
Jay Foster.
No, I scored a 26.
Nate Stanley.
Nate Stanley did with a 40. Jake Fromm
pretty
got a
good.
35. Joe Burrow got a 34. Jake Luton from Oregon State at 29. Jordan Love from Utah State at 27. Justin Herbert, 25. Tua scored a 13. It's not good.
It's not good.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. The whole thing, it's the lowest score. Yeah, you got the lowest one. The next one, Jalen Hurts got an 18.
That's not good either.
It's not, but I mean, it's an outdated thing or whatever. Donovan McNabb scored a 14 at one point, you know. He went on to have a pretty good career. Lamar Jackson also scored a 13 on the test, so it doesn't really mean too much. It's just more things to talk about and report about.
I really want to take this test, though, for real.
You can.
I know.
Yeah.
I haven't decided some time.
And happy birthday to Wrigley Field today.
Yay. It's my grandma's birthday, too.
It is?
It's a lot of
Yes.
people's birthdays. There's a lot of celebrities.
My
a lot of
great-uncle's
friends,
birthday.
Families.
Oh, it's 420.
It's
Yep.
420.
And
Hey.
by the way, not my favorite day of the year.
Why is
everybody
that?
You know what,
high
though,
today?
Jay?
And not my
Two-
favorite day of the
Jay
year.
Foster, 2 years ago, I had you cracking up, laughing, giggling as we started the show.
What did we do?
Because
Could
that's,
you play?
that's when I got to play music to intro the show.
Yeah.
And we didn't say anything because we don't make a big deal out of 420, man. He came in the show and we said, all right, ready to go live. All right, Sergi, hit it. And it was Mary Jane.
Yeah, see, I like that stuff.
T-Roy started dancing and
You look nice.
started singing.
Yes.
He started
I'm
singing.
in
right
love
away.
with Mary Jane.
There it is.
Why is he
She
all dressed
is
up?
my main thing.
Are you
I
dressed
knew you
up?
were coming.
Because it's 420.
No, I just wanted to look good for you.
Thanks, babe.
How's it going?
104 years old today is Wrigley Field.
104.
That's right. I'll get to that in a second. No, for the secondary like dumb made up holidays, this one is I would draft this number one as the dumbest one of all. And a lot of it, guys, has to do that I was a high school teacher for 5 years.
Sure.
So it's the dumbest thing.
Did you leave out milk and cookies for Snoop Dogg last night?
For Willie.
Get it?
For Willie Nelson?
That's funny. For Snoop Dogg.
We did. Kids were like, what are we doing this from? Like, Snoop Dogg, hello, 420 tomorrow.
You did not.
I'm kidding, Jay.
Stop it.
Although I do have to tell you this, my
Yeah.
my kids found something in a drawer somewhere in my house, and I don't know where it came from.
Oh.
Yeah,
T-Roy?
Wait,
hold on.
Survey says we pulled 100 Hasslers out there. Top 4 answers on the board.
Dildo.
Johnny Rodeo.
Dildo was one.
What top 4 answers on the board from the Hasslers? What did Bombers kids find in a drawer?
Which time?
Top answer. Dildo.
Top answer on the board.
At number 2. Bong.
not a bong. That doesn't fit in a drawer. It's more of a closet.
All right. Pipe.
Pipe.
Yes, it was.
Done.
Dirty movie.
Dirty movie. Gun.
Those
are top
some
4
sort
on the
of
board.
lingerie.
gun. Yeah, that's in the closet, top shelf. They don't know where that's at. Hey, oh, Joe's laughing at me.
Jeez.
They found a pipe, and my friends were actually there when it happened, and they just pulled it out and set it on the table. What's this? I'm like, well,
apparatus.
It's legal now, so I don't have to.
Joe says that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was funny. He was there. He was there. So was Hillary. So
That's cool. We didn't want to come over.
fine. Social distancing.
Oh, yeah. Are ya?
But yeah, they found it. So, and I explained what it was. I have chronic back pain. I can do whatever I want.
Chronic, all right.
Yes.
Oh, T-Roy.
Ding, ding,
420
ding,
joke.
ding.
Good job, bud.
It's legal though, so you know.
It's all good, sister.
Do you remember like finding our parents' pot and like having to act like we didn't because it was so against the grain back then?
What do you mean, acting like you didn't?
Oh, I would find it. My mom would be like, "That's oregano."
Do you want to know some celebrity birthdays today?
They don't care about our pot stories.
Yeah.
Do you have any listed?
Celebrity birthdays 420? No.
Yeah.
No. Okay, just tell me. Couldn't hate this day more.
No, never mind. I'll talk to T-Roy Bomber later about it. You know, Coach Lou Brown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, James
Our
Cameron.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George Takei.
Oh, I don't like that guy.
He's on
Star
Howard
Trek?
Stern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
George Takai.
Takei, sorry.
There you
Takei, Whatever. Same
It's
thing.
all right.
Joey Lawrence.
Oh, nothing my love can't fix for you, babe. You guys go to Whoa and I sing that song.
City of Brotherly Love.
This I tell you.
He was so
Nothing my
hot.
love can't fix
Ron
for
Howard's
you,
brother
baby.
Clint. Clint
Do
Howard.
love
Yeah.
Clint. He's in
You
all
can
that.
do it. He's in the, he was in,
George McFly. Crispin Glover.
Ooh.
The original George McFly.
he's a dark man.
He is a dark man.
Yeah.
Not like
probably
skin
like
tone,
him.
just like
No.
personality.
No,
right?
yeah, personality.
Speaking of dark men, Shamar Moore from Criminal Minds.
Okay, he's hot too.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good-looking motherfucker.
a lot of
Supervisory
people on
Special Agent Derek
420.
Morgan. Yeah. Jessica Lange. And Andy Serkis, the guy that plays Gollum.
Isn't like Hitler born on this day?
Yes.
Well, he's dead, so it's not his birthday.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying these are like all the dumb
Jesus.
things. Yeah.
He is?
Well, he's dead. Cross him off the list.
I don't know if you saw that show. He's still alive.
No, he's
Half
not.
these guys on this list are way past their prime, and I've never heard of him.
The
This guy
Hunter
here
is
is
on
dead.
Born
Netflix.
April
He's still
20th,
alive on the show.
1889, Jay.
Well,
Yeah.
but that show's
There you
based
go.
in the 70s.
It's a joke.
Yeah, I know.
So, it's okay. Don't wipe off my what do you call it?
I-
Highlighter.
When I say that Wrigley Field, it's not that Wrigley Field, it's his birthday. I am wrong. The Chicago Cubs played their first game at Wrigley Field today.
Oh.
104
Even more exciting.
years
Well,
ago.
that changes so much.
The famous ivy was planted in 1937 at Wrigley Field.
I mean, the weeds growing on their walls.
Yep. It was originally 350 Japanese
got the
bittersweet plants and 200 Boston ivy plants. But the Boston ivy eventually took over. Although it was planted
So
by
in
Bill
the
Veck
natural,
Jr.
It's a fake in the natural? They're using the wrong wall?
Yeah. It is not historically correct.
Yep.
Although planted by Bill Veck, it was Wrigley, the owner's, his idea to do it. Scoreboard came around in 1937 also. The Cubs were the first Major League Baseball team to allow their fans to keep foul balls.
You can't now?
And they were also the first fans that throw the home runs back.
I do like that.
Wrigley Field used to be Wigman Park.
Ew, I don't like that name at all.
Well, William Wrigley was a investor in the Cubs, and he eventually kept increasing his shares, and he was a full owner by 1921, expanded the park to 1922, named after himself. Lights weren't added to Wrigley until 1988. The first night game at Wrigley got rained out.
I should have taken that as a sign.
Sign for
The Chicago
what,
Bears
Serge?
played at Wrigley Field from 1921 to 1970. Harry Carey's famous seventh-inning stretch rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, which I'm going to kick myself now that I didn't talk to Bobby Hansen about, almost never happened. While Harry Carey was announcing for the White Sox, radio producer and broadcaster Jay Scott approached him about singing the song for the audience, but Carey declined. So during one game, Scott turned the mics on in the announcer's booth without telling Carey, and a tradition was born, a tradition that Carey brought with him to Wrigley Field when he became the team's official broadcaster in 1982.
Aw. He was drunk every time he sang that song.
During the 1932 World Series, Babe Ruth pointed to center field to indicate exactly where he was going to hammer the next ball, and he did. Did this happen?
Wait, say it again?
During the
There's-
1932 World Series, Babe Ruth pointed to center field to indicate exactly where he was going to hammer the next ball, and he did.
I say
Yes.
No. I say no.
It did happen.
A lot of speculation on this one.
It did.
Yes.
It did?
No,
He pointed, but they're speculating that he wasn't pointing at the wall. He was pointing at the pitcher because they were arguing back and forth.
But he did it often, though. He would call where his ball was going to go multiple times.
No. Well, it was more than once, but it wasn't that
Yeah, but I
many
think
times.
that time because he was like,
a YouTube clip about it. Rare video of it.
there's a rare video and it's hard to tell because it's so grainy and it's like as fast as I'll get out.
I'm gonna go with yes, he did because I want to believe it. So
I'll go with Leah.
You just not to just go with her.
I want to believe it, so I'm gonna believe it.
Well, outside of Last Dance, it's I don't know. It sucks that we can't be going to a game. Do you think? Okay, I want to get to the one thing I talked to you about the draft before the second hour because I want to ask your guys' opinion. But do you what are your feelings now about this? When do you think we're going to see live sports? Because we just before we went to air,
Yep.
it was reported that Ragbri has been canceled for the year. So now we have to speculate on our biggest event of the year right now.
I'm pretty sure the Bix is canceled. Or will be canceled.
When is the Bigs?
The last Saturday in July,
Same week as Ragbri.
where Ragbri touches the bike tire.
I don't think it should
I would be
be.
very surprised if it was. Why don't they just postpone it?
I don't think it should be.
I don't think it's feasible to postpone it, Serge. I don't know, just things they have to do. I mean, I don't know.
What do you
I don't
mean?
know.
What, all
Maybe
the
it is.
scheduled construction that they do every single year?
But that actually goes away 10
Yeah.
days before the Bix
Yeah.
and comes back.
Weird.
Comes back 10 hours.
Kind of like in Bettendorf when they start doing that construction late June, right before July 4th.
Did you guys see the meme out there? It's like, do the construction now.
Right. Do it now.
Get it
Do
done.
it. Oh my God, Bettendorf's a mess.
I just think what it is they're going to try to avoid any giant social gatherings like that, which attract
Right.
a huge giant amount of
Because it's
people.
a liability and they don't want to be responsible.
until they're fairly sure that 1 year through a lot of this, okay? I mean, they're going to start letting smaller gatherings and things happen, but you won't see, like Jay and I talked about, you're not going to see concerts at the Mark until 2021.
Yep, it's not going to happen.
You'll see some sporting events, but it's going to be,
No, you won't. What sporting events?
our baseball. We'll see minor league baseball.
Oh, we don't know that.
I think we will, but I don't think we're not guaranteed to see it with fans.
We're not guaranteed. I don't think. I'm worried about the whole thing of using again. Okay, I'm worried about the whole thing of using that. Well, economically it doesn't work, even though it fits into Major League Baseball's plan of contraction anyway.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
The reason I think there has to be minor league ball. All right, because it's too much of a feeder system for Major League Baseball. All right, this isn't. I mean, it is. It is what it is. Okay. Anybody gets injured or whatever else, they send them down, the rehab and everything else. There's going to be some sort of minor league baseball. Will we actually get to see it here on this level? A league, A ball,
Low A.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, drafted might be only 5 rounds this year as opposed to 40.
Right.
That doesn't.
I'm just saying
rosters.
it's that's up in the air. But I think what we will see, and I'm just speculating. Obviously, I don't know. I think we will see ball, but I don't necessarily think that you're going to see fans, and that's going to be the problem. That's going to kill.
Right, because that's revenue.
That's going to kill this town.
Profits for sure.
That owner.
Yeah, I don't think.
It just depends on where
So
they
John
live.
Deere Classic gone too?
No, as of
No,
right now.
they're playing it, but that's going to be a situation where I guarantee the fan attendance is going to be limited.
Okay, so the PGA announced their revamped schedule, and I think on Thursday or Friday, Bomber.
Okay.
The one that didn't get moved was the John Deere Classic. Now it comes down to are fans going to be in attendance or not? And the other thing that's a big deal is what bigger names are we going to get now that the British Open is not the next weekend? Oh. So the names, the bigger names might be here now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they just skip it to get over to get
The
the
bigger
British
names will
Open.
be here, but we can't go watch.
We don't know that yet.
We
Who
don't
said
know.
we cannot? Okay. What?
Apply for media credentials.
Let's apply now.
Okay, we'll apply. Okay, I'll text you. I want media. Okay, well, I'll get media credentials.
Media.
Yeah,
I have to go.
You're in. Yeah, you're in. So we have to talk like this though on the golf course.
Nobody can know.
Well, don't your parents live on the golf course?
They live in Oakwood, yes.
I don't know. I see. Is that the
Where you guys
is that the same
whispering?
one? We're practicing our golf stuff. Is Oakwood where they play?
They played there before many times. I don't know.
No, they don't play there anymore.
It's not every year. It's different.
No, where's the John Deere Classic play at? You're right.
TPC.
TPC.
I don't know. I just
Now
went last.
It was
I
Oakwood
forget,
years
except for
in
the
a
week
row.
of. All right, so
Like Sophie in basketball.
that's where she gets it. Just shuts
Jeez,
down.
wonder where she gets it.
Just
I
shuts
don't know
down.
where it's played, Jay.
Hard pass.
I don't know where the Bulls are from.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
He's gonna watch it now. All right, I don't know because if they can have the John, it's a race. There's just too many people. That's the thing. And moving it, I don't know if you can postpone it because when do you postpone it to? Because if you don't get it in time,
Yeah.
the whole idea of postponing it, are you going to be able to pull it off? Because when you get the second, what's the word I'm looking for? The second wave of this.
Yeah.
When does that come?
I mean, you figure you 14,000 people are crammed together on the street. I mean, that's what it is when you're racing up a hill. I mean,
Or when you walk up the hill in the first wave of people. That's cool,
or
too.
those people, yes.
The elite runners walking up the hill.
I'm not allowed to
I didn't even think about it until
You're not allowed to what?
comment on this because I don't agree with that. at
You don't
all.
agree with what?
Any of it.
That they canceled it?
They should cancel it.
That they should cancel it. That the whole second wave is going to happen. I've watched
wait,
statistics
I mean-
since day one, and I've watched them go down
Hold on a second.
significantly.
Wait, hold on. You don't believe that the second wave is going to happen? Although, like every flu type virus, since you can go back 100 years
Yes,
ago to Spanish
but do I-
influenza.
I don't think it's a second wave. I think that this is just prolonging the inevitable. This whole thing was prolonging the inevitable from jump. So it's not
Prolonging the inevitable. What do you mean?
keeping people inside is prolonging. What should happen is we should just go about our lives now. And this sounds harsh and it sounds heartless, but it's going to pick out who the weak and the strong, just like influenza does every year. So keeping us in our home is just prolonging this second wave, which shouldn't be a second wave at all. It should just be the whole thing should just happen. It should just happen. We shouldn't
You're talking the herd mentality.
herd mentality, herd immunity is basically yes. Yeah.
I understand your point of that. I think the thing that kind of worries me a little bit is I don't think the Spanish influenza was made in a lab in China. So when it's something like this, I just like I don't know if it's going to weigh its course.
But do you believe that it's biologically engineered to?
I don't know what I believe, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Here's what I do know, and this is what I kind of explain to my kids: take care of yourself.
Right.
Make sure you're healthy.
Right.
Be smart about what you're doing. For example, when we had Sophie and she was younger, we didn't want her around anybody because we didn't know.
Right.
All right, but then you get a little bit older and you get a little bit, you want to go out, you want to do something else, and then you rely on like the grandparents, like my parents, and you say like, hey, can you watch the kids? And the grandparents go, I don't know, I have a cough. I think I'm going to sit this one out. And you go, that's really responsible of you. Thank you for telling me that before you come over to the house. I appreciate that.
Right.
And that seems pretty easy to me.
So this is what I'm talking about. They need to leave it. We don't need the government to tell us what we can do and what risks we can assume. We're all capable people. We can decide what risks we're willing to take and what we're willing to expose ourselves to. If you don't feel like you want to be exposed, you don't have to be. Stay home. If you don't want your kids exposed, keep them home. If you don't want to go back to work, don't go back to work. But to impose your fears on everybody else in society is wrong.
Go, girl.
Would you go to a ball game?
Yes. Tomorrow.
Okay.
Sit with her.
Absolutely. Basketball game. I go to Walmart and I touch the credit card machine after 500 other people. I'm going to go to a ball game.
I'm with her. I think the exact same thing is I sit there and wait and I watch them wipe down the
conveyor belt.
The conveyor belt. Thank you. As I sit there and I have to stand there and watch them wipe it down. And
they don't wipe down that credit card machine.
They don't wipe down the credit card machine, and someone's going to end up suing somebody for carpal tunnel because they had to wipe between every single person.
If you have a problem with the credit card machine, touch it with your key or a pen.
Right. But my
I don't
point
have
is
a problem.
that people don't think of these things, and I've seen people with gloves eating from the deli.
Right. Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just like, and they're the first people to call the cops on their neighbors if they walk outside. Like, you guys, you have to get it together. You know, if you're gonna judge other people,
I'm to the point where I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing,
Right.
one way or the other.
Same.
On my sanitation and my own personal guidelines here. I'm gonna stick with that, and
100%.
whatever everybody else wants to do, they're gonna do.
Right. But
So-
see, you're not like that, Serge. You're not going to tell everybody else what to do because that's just not who you are.
No.
But I can't tell you how many people have told me what to do.
I will tell you this. This is where I will tell someone what to do is when it's going to affect me. When
Okay.
somebody, like, so for example, at the airport just over a month ago, when I'm practicing my sanitation with gloves, handkerchief around my face as I'm in a crowded area, and such as an airport, I'm still trying to be somewhat cautious. Go to get a bottle of water and a snack before go sit at the gate wait for the plane. And a person working at the airport with no gloves on decides to take it upon themselves to try to bag all of my things without gloves on.
Yeah, you told me that.
And that's when I said, whoa, hey. I go,
I got it.
I got it. Okay, thanks, so.
All right.
I'm like, there's some things I can do.
And you have the right to speak up and,
Right.
and to do these things. What do you guys think about the skate park in California where they shoveled 47 tons of sand so that the kids cannot skateboard? What do you think about that?
How they can get out of there?
That's my first thought.
It's from the beach. The beach is right next to it.
Yeah, but how do they get it out?
Are
of
they
there?
going to get
How are they going to
a
get
blower?
out? And who do you think is going to have to pay for that to get taken out?
Skate punks?
Taxpayers.
Skaters.
Not skate punks?
Not skate punks.
This is their favorite day too.
But don't you find that disgusting? Like when they say it's for your safety.
We should go watch
and
Gleam
then
in the
they're doing
Cube
things
today.
like that. If there's two kids skateboarding do you see how big that park was? They're not. Why? There's a guy running on the beach and there's a cop chasing him. I saw that too. Like he's by himself. What harm is he doing?
I jogged today. There are people out walking around. No one got.
This is in California. California is a little bit more communist than the Midwest.
Yeah.
It's insane to me. Like this is going too far. Now it's becoming tyranny. It's far exceeding for your safety, in my opinion.
All right, Jay, how about this one? This
Sure.
brought to us from the best underhand athlete in the world, our friend Adrian.
Yeah.
What about the state fair?
Okay, so did I tell you guys this?
It's a month later.
So Friday, again, I know I'm sharing you stories about like my kids, but sometimes the interaction I have with them makes me laugh. So Friday we get the news that schools are shut down for the rest of the year. Right. All right, so I text my buddy who's a principal, and I'm like, what does all this mean? He's like, I just got done with the presser. He said, he went this and that. He goes, they're going to waive the fair rule. So I'm like, waive the fair rule, because I forgot about this, all right? Well, waiving the fair rule is school had to start after the Iowa State Fair.
Sure.
And because they were starting school earlier so that they could get out earlier, teachers could get done before Memorial Day, that type of thing. Well, Branstad came in and said, the people from the fair, like, we're losing money. And Branstad came in and said, I have this law that I can enact and I'm going to use it. You know, you guys are violating it. So anyway, my daughter's upset that school's canceled.
Really?
On the other hand, my son is like he's part of Arsenio Hall's dog pound, just screaming up and down, woo, 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 whatever else. So finally, I'm just like, I just had it, and I'm like, I'm just going to rain all over this kid's parade, all right? So I'm like, well, guess what? I hope you're super happy, but they just waived the fair rule. And like I'm an expert, but I'm just dropping it down. And he goes, what do you mean? And I go, they just waived the fair rule. They can start school whenever they want. And I hope they start at July 5th.
You're so mean, Dad.
And he says, why July 5th, not the 4th? And I go, because it's a holiday. And he's just like, well, I hope they don't. I was like, well, I hope they do. And I'm going to send emails.
Did you do one of these two?
Yeah, everything else. Anyway, the fair, that's a really good question. The governor will not want to shut down the fair.
No.
But
they may have to.
But they're going to have to, Jay.
There's too many people out there that are going to...
They're going to shut down Mississippi Valley. I'm just speculating.
No, it's fine to speculate. It's not like we're reporting and saying, like, I talked to such or I'm not Schefter. I just got a tweet or anything.
Listen,
like
I don't want to be. I watched, by the way, the Richard Jewell story. I don't want to be the Atlanta Journal-Sentinel. All right, by the way, I don't want to ruin anybody's life. I'm speculating here.
All right, if New York's fair still goes on for the 18 days that it is scheduled to happen, it's scheduled for the end of August. If New York is having their fair,
we gonna have our fair?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Their subways are still up and running. Hello.
Right.
Hello.
I don't want to touch anything on the subways
What's up,
anyway.
Cuomo?
Yeah, no one would do that.
Something's going on there. That's why there's so many people. They're opening up ice arenas for more. First of all, that's been debunked. That is false. That's not true. But when they say that they're all this chaos is going on, why are the subways still running?
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense, does it? These are the questions you have to ask. Conspiracy theorist over here.
Tinfoil hat.
Well, they got all the weirdos there that jump the fence and won't pay for the subway anyway, so they got that thing going. It should be free. Oh, okay. Idiot.
We should have a fair but no concerts, Matt said. Mm-hmm. What's the difference, dude?
No.
Right.
For what, to show off the FFA?
You're all like sardines in there no matter where you are.
I don't
The
care.
concert's by far worse as far as like close
I hope
quarters.
they
but
don't
it's
shut
close
any
quarters all
of
the
it
way
down.
around.
But obviously, if they've already canceled
I'm ready to just go back
I'm
to
not here
regular
for
way
the
of life.
concerts. I got myself a pig. I'm in the FFA. No.
I mean, the thing with
Got
Right,
me a
you're
red
starting
velvet
at one
funnel
end of the
cake and a
state,
corn dog.
and you're driving across the street. So if you get it, you're spreading it to town to town to town to town. Now, the thing that you can argue with the Bix is saying, okay, you're not as a large group of people traveling across the state in a week. Okay, it's just a bunch of people coming to one area. But obviously, you have international travelers coming.
What
into
if
the
there's an
Bix.
international travel ban? How do I have to start? But the Bix is still going. International travel ban, meaning a Kenyan can't come in.
Means
and
we
win
got
the
a
Bix.
chance.
That's what I'm saying. When do I have to start training? Who do I need? Get a hold of Fleet
But if
Feet.
they do that, they're going to call it. There's going to be so many other social justice warriors. They're going to cry that that's racist and that's this.
It's not
and
our
that's
fault
this
that there's a travel ban.
And, of course it's not. But this is what you're going to deal
Just
with.
want to win the Bix.
In a record slowest time for a Bix winner ever.
Right.
From Davenport,
Jay Fox.
he hails.
Just to be the Alan Parsons Project music in the background because that's all I have is the Bulls lineup now. A 5'7".
Dun, 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 dun,
5'7" sophomore
And
from Bedford,
now-
Iowa, coming in at averaging 9 minutes and 13 seconds a mile. Look at him go.
That boy's fast.
He really wants it.
Winner of the Quick Bix in 20 minutes. Serge comes in limping.
The man with the bionic hip.
Oh God.
Bomber walks across it drinking a Truly.
Yeah.
Can someone
Third
pull me in
place,
a?
y'all.
I just want one of you to pull me in a wagon.
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
do
want
it.
to run.
I'd pull you in a wagon.
All right.
We have to take a break because we have in this hour and come back with
man.
Bomber and everybody else. But beforehand, before we read an ad, I'll lead this trivia question for you. Michael Jordan won twice as many NBA Finals MVP awards, that's 6 total, as anyone else. Michael Jordan won twice as many NBA Final MVP awards, 6, as anyone else. Who are the only other 4 players with 3 NBA Finals MVPs?
Magic
Hold
Johnson.
on.
Wait
We're going
a
to
minute.
break.
Yeah, don't run. I gotta think about
Teaser.
this.
We're going
teaser
to break.
alert,
Who are
teaser
the
alert.
only 4 players with 3 NBA Finals MVP? Let's go to break. We'll be right back. Don't ask us for local.
Let me tell you about Bayside Bistro in the village of East Davenport. Bayside Bistro is not your ordinary sandwich shop. You won't find deli meat on their menu. They use fresh ingredients and orders are made to order from scratch. From paninis, like the Bayside Po' Boy and the roasted beet and green bean salad, Bayside Bistro has an incredible menu that specializes in deliciousness. And don't forget about their smoothies and fresh juices that they make and their incredible dinner entrees. Don't take our word for it. Check out their Facebook page and read the over 500 recommendations from guests. Stop by Bayside Bistro today at 1105 Christie Street in the East Village of Davenport.
This is UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
Nolly's Kitchen is your home for the freshest, most authentic Mexican food. And they're open for carry-out and delivery. Enjoy their made-from-scratch menu prepared just for you and delivered curbside or to your home or business. Carry out their homemade guisados, guaraches, and gorditas, or have their amazing tacos and burritos delivered today. Download their new Nolly's app, pay online, and then enjoy the easiest way to get the most authentic Mexican food in the Quad Cities. Nolly's Kitchen, old-fashioned Mexican cooking, Rockingham and Division, Davenport.
These are uncertain times, but we at First Midwest Bank remain strong, remain committed to our clients, to our communities. And we want those who are uncertain in these uncertain times to know that even though we currently all need to stay apart, we are all in this together. First Midwest Bank. To learn more about how we're helping our clients adjust through this difficult period, visit firstmidwest.com. Member FDIC.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff, even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Is your kitchen or bathroom embarrassing? You need them redone. But do you know a contractor that you could trust? You need an all-star. You need to call Mike at All-Star Home Services. Mike and his team have been transforming kitchens and bathrooms for over 15 years. Call today for $500 off your complete kitchen or bath project. Plus, with financing available, get your kitchen or bath done today for one low monthly payment. Call 563-299-3786 or at all-starhomeservices.com.
Sensitivity, understanding, and a tradition of kindness and caring. It's so important when a family loses a loved one. Call on us, Wheeland Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, for all your service needs. You have our single-minded attention to every detail. With a range of choices and services available, our professionalism, and our deepest sympathy. Wheeland Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KPOB, Davenport.
All right, we are back here in the Hassel Castle. Leah Bomber, Jaybird, Sergeant Roy. Roll them up and smoke them if you got them there, hippies.
520.
Tell you what's funny. Hippies. So I watched over the weekend. Watched a lot of. They had some actual new releases on Stars for the first time in 8 months. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Which is a great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did. I loved it.
Did
I loved
you?
like the alternate ending when Leo DiCaprio comes out and he starts yelling at him for their loud car. You damn hippies!
Yeah.
This piece of crap out of my neighborhood.
There were some
Listen,
great
you dirty
parts, but it
hippie.
was
What you
slow.
looking at, Ginger?
It was slow.
It was slow. Like the ending was like, yes, I've been waiting for the Quentin Tarantino finish.
That ending was.
I thought it was great. Listen,
Awesome.
I loved it when Pitt beats the hell out of the one hippie for flattening his tire. That was great.
Yes.
But also when he challenges Bruce Lee to a fight.
And he kicks his.
Yeah.
That was. I was like, yeah.
So, am I getting this right?
What?
Through social media, Bomber, you just watched Pulp Fiction for the first time all the way through this weekend.
All the way through.
That's impressive.
Yes, because I mean,
like
I've seen.
Yeah.
Well, Quentin Tarantino is my favorite director of all time. Every movie that he has made has never really steered me wrong. But yeah, it was the first time because I was either like partying and doing other things, so I wasn't paying attention, or fell asleep, or so I've always attempted to watch it. But it was the first time I watched it all the way through, and holy crap!
Took you a while.
The scene with the dude and the dude in the back room and the dude.
Yeah. Looks like Spider got himself. What did he
I
say?
had no idea that was in there.
Yeah.
As accurate of a description as that scene as possible, I think.
The dude and the dude and the dude,
Right.
and then the
Bring out the Gimp.
Oh, what?
Gimp
Like-
sleep.
I was like, you done messed up, Aaron. You're in trouble.
You hear me, hillbilly boy?
Yeah, that's a good. It's one that if it's on, I usually just leave it on the back.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
Honestly, my favorite scene is the one that is the overdose scene. I think Eric Stoltz is great in that. I love. I mean, if you ask me
When she does the needle.
there's a lot of times if you ask me for a pen, I will lose it and be like, a felt pen. Magic marker. Like I will just go quote that up. And when he goes, wait, are you calling me on a cellular phone?
Prank caller.
Prank caller.
My favorite scene, and I'll tell you why, as I researched this, and what's his name that does the Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
The scene where he talks about the watch and he's talking to baby Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And he's
Bruce
telling
Willis.
him of this. Bruce, I'm sorry, my bad. We just
Sorry.
talked about Bruce Lee. Do you know how he got through that scene? And he got it on the first take.
I don't know how.
He got it on the first take, and he only did it straight through. And if you watch interview with him, he'll tell you that he took a shot of Tabasco sauce right before they did that scene, so that his mouth salivated enough for him to never break stride and get through that dialogue in one shot.
Wow. Really.
Now that's a
really getting into the acting.
That's a master of your craft right there.
I guess.
I love Christopher Walken.
I'm a big Walken fan.
How old is he? I'd seriously go on a date with that guy. How old is he?
Stop it.
70 something.
He was good in Joe Dirt too.
He's good in everything.
So is there any? I'm wondering because
Well, I
like you
watched
said,
and then I
Stars.
watched the Richard Jewell story.
That was on Stars.
No, we rented that on Prime.
Okay.
Who's Richard Jewell? Is my name.
So he was the gentleman that was the security guard at the '96 Olympics who actually discovered the bomb, and then by crappy journalism, which was I called it, and we got in an argument in my house about this. The Atlanta Sentinel Journal, I believe it's called, reported that he was under investigation by the FBI, and everybody just took it and ran with it like this dude was guilty, and basically this dude's life was ruined for quite some time. He only had about 11 years left at that point anyway. He died at 44.
Wow.
I remember where I was during the bombing in the '96 Atlanta Olympics.
Yeah, I do too.
And I do remember Richard Jewell. From what I'm understanding, though, and this is what we talked about, wasn't this historically the movie not very accurate, though?
What the only thing that the movie did that I've seen,
They made a love interest out of the journalist and an FBI agent?
Yes.
They always have to
That's
have a
what
love
they did.
interest.
They,
in
they
that.
they did the love interest with the journalist because they were trying to speculate
the
on
story.
how did this FBI information leak to the Atlanta Sun Journal or whatever, Sentinel Journal or whatever it's called. That was the thing. They had to do something to tie it together, and so they made a few things out of this quote-unquote love interest, and everybody said she was a well-respected reporter. She would never do anything like this. I'm like, okay, well, well-respected or not, they chose to run with a story as a newspaper that ruined a dude's life, and I just had a problem with that. I'm like, I mean, the guy is only guilty of one thing, Jay. Two things, I'm sorry.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Being overweight and living with his mom. So it was okay to make fun of a fat guy living with his mom back then.
Right.
And that's what they
Well,
did.
it still is.
Well, I'm just saying that's what they did. They tore this guy up because he was kind of nerdy. And he lived with his mom.
It's wrong.
He was chubby and nerdy, lived with his mom. And
Agreed.
they tore him to hell. placing articles on him, calling him a nut job. I mean, they called him. Listen, he won he won a lawsuit against the FBI. He a ton of different places settled out of court with him. The Atlanta Journal took him all the way to court, and they won. It was favored in their thing that they were only reporting the news. But I mean, my thing is like, well, you're reporting the news, or you're just
reporting what you want the news to
what,
be.
Yeah, what do you want the news to be?
Exactly.
You should have been
what
like,
they all do nowadays. You can't believe anything you hear.
I mean, his lawyer had it figured out right off the bat. He's like, well, the time doesn't make sense. There's no way for this guy to walk from this telephone. They knew which telephone called in the 911 call,
right,
and walk here. Mm-hmm. Whoever planted the bomb went straight and walked to that phone and made the phone call.
Right. You're right. I agree. I know.
So it was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
It happens a lot, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We live in the media as a general. And I'm talking about us as media because to me, we're not media.
No, we're just.
I'm talking about this people that are
Monday afternoon
trying to get hits and trying to sell advertising and all this weird stuff, trying to be all crazy, and they're going to say crazy things and say whatever.
It's true. I mean,
they wonder why they're called fake news, or where people
fake news.
Why people get mad?
Every single one.
It's sensationalism. That's all they're
it's
selling.
It's not about readers and awards and Pulitzer Prize anymore. It's called local unique views. Loves
pushing
LUVs.
agendas. Pushing agendas.
That is what the higher ups in upstate New York that own all these all these little media area things everywhere. I don't care if it's in Sioux Falls or I don't care if it's in Tucson, Arizona. Yep. It's not about what you're doing that's hard hitting or if it's factual or not. It's called local unique views. Loves, and that's what they want you to do. They get in the top 10. They don't care about anything else, and it's the honest to goodness truth. And
it's sad. Turn your TVs off.
So I want to steer this, and I want to take you guys through this. Earlier in the first hour, I talked to you about how bad I think this draft is going to go this weekend on Thursday, and I tried to do a draft with my buddies, and it was basically the Bill Simmons presents If You Were a Sports Czar draft. I want to throw out some ideas of what people came up with. Since sports are on a pause and we had to go back to sports, if you change the rule, people would just have to accept it because hey, you need sports, you get it. All right. Obviously, you guys all know mine. I went with the one that the NBA season begins in December from here on out. Finals the first week of August. That easy to do. All right. How do you guys like this one? College players get only one transfer, no questions asked, immediately eligible, and signing limits are strictly enforced. So college players, they get one transfer, no questions asked, and they're immediately eligible.
One transfer.
Are we talking about basketball? Or?
It's in NCAA period. It's across the board. It's a blanket. You can transfer at one time, no questions asked, and someone can't say like, "Oh, we release you for scholarship, but you can't go to another Big Ten school."
I like it.
It's like an NDA.
Mm-hmm.
You're just saying they can go anytime, one time though.
One time, yep, and immediately eligible.
That's fine with me.
Yep. Another one that was taken. Easier guidelines and or like restrictions on fifth-year eligibility due to medical hardships, injuries. Basically, the Giroux rule. NCAA just basically not instead of doing it case by case and citing who they like or who they don't want to piss off, they just look at it and just say like, yeah, this kid's senior year obviously was affected. Then my buddy Dykema comes in with the first rounder that's just insane. Not insane, but reviews in wrestling need to be held to 2-minute time frame. They can't make a decision, the call stands. Only one review per wrestler. And then I had to come in and be like, that's your first round pick?
Dusty's outside the box thinker.
He said it really hurts the sport, Jay. And I said, obviously, it's very important to you. All right. Here's one for you. NBA three-pointer to 30 feet. College to 25.
I don't like that.
What is it currently, 24, 27?
I believe so. Want to separate the shooters from the pretenders is his reasoning before that. Trying to get the mid-range jump shot back in the game.
I think leave it.
3 feet's a lot for the NBA to go back. I'm not saying they can't do it. That's a lot.
It's like a half-court shot, almost.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Between the 3-point and the half-court, it's 3 feet, 6 feet total. So it's like right there.
No.
You don't. That's not.
No, that's not accurate.
What is it then?
The distance. Let me look at the dimensions
But yes,
of the court.
look at the distance from half-court shot to three-pointer.
I think trying to change the game back.
Yeah, I'm not saying I would be opposed. I'm just saying that that's a big jump to go 3 more feet in the NBA.
Maybe a foot, but not 3.
Yeah. Yeah, go a foot back in both.
Yeah.
Then one came in, another draft came in to jump probably anyone else's, and this person said no DH in baseball. So obviously someone can't turn around and say universal DH.
No, I say universal DH.
I think we kind of. Well, are you a DH? No DH or universal DH? Okay.
I would lean towards the universal DH, but if they were to just change it one way altogether, either way, I'm fine. I just like to have it. I don't want two different leagues in the same sport.
Yeah, I'd rather have it the same. In both
either way, as long as it's DH or no DH, do the same for American and National. Why do you have two different rules?
I just think the designated hitter prolongs a career, and I'd rather that to happen.
Sure. And I'm with Jay on that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have it be the same in both, and if you want me to choose what I prefer, and I was always a National League guy.
Because it doesn't make sense to me. If you're in the minor...
I want to prolong a career of a great player that just maybe can't do it because the knees hurt.
What if they're just too fat?
The designated hitter, that's right.
Well,
that's what they can still play for. Yeah.
Fat people deserve love too.
They can still hit a ball 500 feet. But
me and Richard Jewell have
See,
together.
They just bat now.
I feel like that's cheating.
What?
Either play every aspect of the game or don't play. Just because you can hit the ball doesn't mean that you should be able to play if you can't run the bases yourself.
Shaq was still killing it later on in his career because
he wasn't running bases.
He was running up and down a 90-foot
and he couldn't make a free throw shot to save his GD life.
Doesn't matter. He still got 3 MVPs in the finals.
Oh,
there's a spoiler for you.
Oh, snap! That's right.
Still one of the most dominant players in the game.
Well, I didn't get that
I agree.
one.
I love Shaq.
Before we went to break,
that was one of my favorite things, Jay. Real quick here was. Yeah. One of my favorite things Kobe said, and I'm a Jordan guy, but I do love Kobe as a number 2. That when Kobe Bryant said in multiple interviews, if Shaq had Kobe's work ethic, Kobe said this. He said that if Shaquille O'Neal had Kobe Bryant's work ethic, they would have won 12 championships together. And they're like, whoa, you guys like starting beef? He's like, no. He goes, I've said this to Shaq 100 times. You kidding me? He goes, he knows that. He agrees with me.
All right, so it is. I didn't have Shaq.
Okay, so the question was: Michael Jordan had 6 NBA Finals MVP.
I know Shaq for a fact.
2 times many than anybody else. There are 4 guys that have 3. Magic is 1.
Bird.
Shaq is 1.
LeBron? I don't know about Bird. Did Bird have 3? Did he only have 2? I know LeBron did.
LeBron had 3.
LeBron's got 3.
All right, see, I had LeBron down.
Durant's got 2. Bird's got 1.
What about Duncan?
When would Bird have 3 NBA championships?
He didn't.
He had 2.
All right, Bill Russell.
No.
So LeBron?
I don't know if they started giving the MVP back when Bill Russell was doing it, though.
Shaq, Magic, we're missing 1.
Duncan.
I think.
Tim Duncan?
Is it
Tim Duncan, yeah.
Okay.
I had Duncan and LeBron down.
Duncan's were probably spaced out, too, though.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Okay, now, there's more ideas, and I'll share more tomorrow. But let me ask you Jordan doesn't leave baseball.
Doesn't leave baseball.
Doesn't leave basketball for baseball.
Okay, there you go. Stays in the league. 94, 95.
Yep.
Do they win?
Yes.
Yep.
I disagree.
Yep.
You think the Houston Rockets were going to knock off the Bulls in 94, 95?
I don't think the Bulls win in 98.
Because they just had too many in a row? They ran out of gas?
Do the math thing about it, all right? If you look at all the games that they played, that's like adding another season, if not a season and a half of all the playoff games.
I think maybe somebody else might have had a chance to be the MVP.
The Pacers take the Bulls to the limit to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals of 98. And the Pacers were, out of 11 games, I believe that year, they were 6-5 against them, or vice versa Bulls. So like they were right there with them. I'm just saying, talk about load management. Did Michael Jordan do the ultimate load management?
Yep.
No.
You're good at this stirring the pot thing. No, he did not. And
that was all because of his dad dying. I'm sorry, and I don't buy the.
That's why he left.
Thing.
Is that what you're talking about?
I think it's a combo of dad dying, a little bit of the gambling.
Listen, Jordan left in his prime. But Jordan is leaving his prime. They win 4 straight, 5 straight, right there, easy. Then the rest of it is arguable.
Then he might have retired sooner. Jay, there you go.
Was it retire sooner, or
the only way
that
they don't win 8 in a row is if he would have stayed in the league, they won 5 or 6 in a row, then he retired. If Jordan's still in that league, still on that team, they're not losing the finals.
Thank you.
The thing is, as much as they're beating up Krause on this, I mean,
right?
Listen, those 2 years they lost. Those 2 years they lost, the Bulls were in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks and against the Magic.
The finals?
Yeah.
The Eastern
They
Conference.
made the Eastern Conference final, though. They didn't get. No, they got knocked out. They didn't make the finals that second year. They were knocked out early. No, they don't.
That second year, Jordan came back.
It was not the finals.
That was the finals. No.
For some reason, I thought that was the
It
finals.
was Eastern Conference semifinals against the Magic, where Nick Anderson, Horace Grant, beat him up.
Glasses.
Oh, that's right. They lost Horace Grant.
Goggles.
Yeah, because Horace Grant went to the Magic after his first 3 with the Bulls.
Yep, that's right. I remember that. I still think they would have won. Just saying.
The Knicks took the Rockets to Game 7 of the 1994 NBA championship.
You think they would have won?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think they. No, I don't think they would. I don't think they make it to 98. That's it's too much on the list. I really don't.
I think they at least win 4 straight.
Yeah.
I'm with.
They win 4 straight. Jordan's still playing on that team. Did they win the 5th?
Yes, they win the 5th.
Here's my thought.
They win.
Was Reggie Miller and Rick Smith's going to figure them out?
No.
Jalen Rose.
Here's my thing. Jordan had Ewing's number. Jordan loved when Jordan talked about never letting your opponent up after you have him down in his head. He lived rent free in Ewing's head.
Yep.
Rent free. Between him and Pippen ducking on Ewing, embarrassed him.
All right.
Jordan lived in his head since he was a sophomore in college, by the way, or a freshman in college.
Do they win the 5th straight against the Houston Rockets the second year?
Say that again.
Sorry, Phi Slamma-Jamma was not going to take him out.
Clyde Drexler's on that team. Sam Cassell's on that team. Big Shot Rob is on that team. Hakeem Olajuwon's on that team.
They were good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying the first year. I don't think I think the Rockets don't do it. But
what did Jordan do every single time somebody came close to beating them, or beat him early on in his career? When the Pistons beat him, when they beat him up, what did he do?
Came back to kill him.
Came back to kill him.
Right.
Came back stronger. Spent more time in the gym, getting more physical. Okay, so say the Rockets almost beat him. Say the Rockets take him to 6 games in the NBA Finals in 1994. What's Jordan going to do? Well, we did pretty darn good. I think we could just sit back and put this on idle. I think we're fine. No, he's going to come back and break down every single. He was the Peyton Manning.
That's fair.
But we're not giving Krause enough credit here on what he would put together for a team if they were going to keep the team together. I mean, the whole thing with Krause was he was always wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, the problem with Krause, and that's the thing they point out real early in the documentary, is that
people just didn't like.
He wanted more credit for everything that was going on.
People hated Krause because he was a jerk.
Someone's got to be booed at the United Center when they do the award presentation. Yeah, they do.
I mean, they're not going to listen, they're not going to like Krause because he wasn't a player. Look at him, he's a little toad-looking dude. Sorry, it is what it is.
But he still was doing things that weren't like necessarily. You got to listen to Jordan and Phil. I mean, that's what they say. What's going to keep you guys from winning 6th title? What does Jordan do? Look up at the office. The Krause's office and go, Oh.
Well,
anyway.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Well, that was fun.
And then
more tomorrow.
And the real
about
fun
the
part
last
was
dance.
when the Orlando Magic beat the Bulls and they went on to Houston, and the Houston Rockets broke Nick Anderson.
Yeah, they got swept.
He missed 4 free throws in a row.
Broke him.
Like my heart.
All right, well, this was fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Enjoy the day. Hopefully the weather stays nice. I don't know.
It's supposed to be nice tomorrow, bud.
Supposed to be nice tomorrow, too.
Yeah.
Bomber,
Yes.
Great
good to
patio
see
weather.
you. You gonna come?
Yes, thank you.
You gonna be in tomorrow?
Sure. If you need me.
Of
You guys-
course.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Party! All right,
I gotta go pee.
enjoy yourselves, Quad Cities. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Watch The Last Dance. Bye.